Everyone, I'm Nicolas Maicher. I'm pre-sales consultant. I've been at Sage for more than 20 years, so I'm specialist in X3, and I'm happy to present to you today some of the new features and development on Sage X3 and what's coming in a few next releases. So I'm going to start the presentation where we've gone through the introduction. The agenda, a few more things on introduction that I'll talk about. Then we'll dive into new features like shop floor tracking, web scheduling, and so we'll go into more details about these modules that are coming with X3 today. We'll have a quick chat on BI with our solution Sage Enterprise Intelligence. It's important to talk about BI too. Artificial intelligence, and we'll have a demo on Sage Copilot. And as Zofia just said, we'll finish with a few words and a few slides on Ekio, our new partner. So we thought it was important to have a small recap on what Sage X3 is and a reminder of the great features and the functional coverage of Sage X3. As you can see here on a macro perspective, you can see what is the coverage of X3 from the multi everything, deep multi, as we say, multi financials, multi company, multi site ERP, and it covers all the modules of your industry, of your business, from inventory, stock, procurement, manufacturing, distribution, sales, purchasing, and so on. That's what you can see in this slide. And also, Sage has multiple deployment choice. We have a big focus on the cloud today. However, it can be hosted by Sage, hosted by your partner, or hosted on premise as you wish. And we have an extensive number of APIs for connecting. So it's a very complete ERP that you are using today. In terms of priorities at Sage, we want to provide the best ERP possible for our clients. So we've defined priorities that you can see on the screen. So it needs to meet the requirements of your industry. That's the evolution of X3. So purpose-built industry solutions. We want to make sure that the functional coverage meets your requirement. It needs to be modern. So we'll talk about platform modernization. UX also is very important, and we always take into consideration all the feedback or feedbacks from our customers to make the user experience as smooth as possible, I would say. And AI also is a major focus for us, especially in the coming months and years. And we'll show you some great new features that are coming with X3. So next to these 4 priorities that you can see on the right, Sage Network. Sage Network is key for us too. Sage Network, our new platform, will eventually connect all our products and all our clients and provide a number of services that you can see here, like AI, collaboration, automation. So all our products, some of them are already connected to the network, and all our products will be connected to the network, and then all our clients, and you'll be able to benefit from all those different services. And the network is also the cornerstone of all the e-invoicing framework that we are building at Sage. I just wanted to show you here, it doesn't concern Sweden, but you can see here that in Europe, we have compliance requirements to meet the invoicing requirements for different countries, and State Network has been key for us and is key in this compliance requirements with X3, and we've worked a lot in the last few releases to build that framework. So just just for information. So we're not going to talk too much about finance in this presentation, but because all the finance evolutions, I would say, or new features have been focused on the invoicing for different countries in Europe. If you want more information on invoicing, especially for Sweden, your partner can give you more information on that. Right, let's dive into, one more slide before we dive into the new features. We thought it was important also to remind you of the release calendar with Sage X3. As you know, now we don't have any more major versions. We are in V12 now. I think most of you are already in version 12 or have implemented that version. But now we have releases, 2 releases per year, so biannual calendar. You can see the different dates from on that slide. The last release was provided to you in October or November 2024, and the next one will be available in April, and 25 R2 in October. So it's very clear, April and October, you always have a new release. You don't have to implement or apply these releases every time. You can skip 1 or 2. Just bear in mind that we have 24 months maintenance, means one release is maintained 24 months, so that means 4 releases are always maintained. After that, it's recommended to apply a new release. And we've also made available some tools to help to facilitate the application of releases, like the cumulative patching, customization audit, and our new ATP platform, automated test platform, that helps you in the testing of new releases when you apply them on your test environment. Right, let's dive into some new features with the latest release. So the latest release, 2024 R2, second release of 2024. That's the live feature today, the live release. And one of the new features is called shop floor control. This is especially designed for people on the shop floor. It's a native cloud application that is hosted by Sage that will be connected to X3, whether you're on premise or on the cloud, it doesn't matter. It's connecting to X3 with the new APIs that we'll talk about in a minute. And it's a specially designed application for people on the shop floor to report time, to carry out time reporting on the work order operations, and to declare the quantities that they are producing for each operations. And I think it's best if we have a look at some features on a small demo, and that you can see here. So it's specially designed user interface for people on the shop floor. So it sits next to X3. It's communicating with X3. So you log in with your Sage ID. You can see, you can view by machine a list of operations. You could sort the lists. You can see associated documents, as you can see here. See if operations are in progress, for instance. And you'll be able to do the clock in and clock out of your time spent on each operation. You can see all the operation that you need to see. So that's for an operator. And when you want to start your work, you can just select the operation and do your clock in, and so it starts counting the time that you spend on each of those operations. So it's a new user interface, especially designed for people on the shop floor when they have their tablet with them, and they can they can record their time, the quantities for each operation much easier. And we'll also see at the end some of the KPIs that are provided with the solution. So you have a number of notifications here on the right, and these are for the planner and the shop floor manager. Then he can manage their activity there. So these shop floor control, it's a service. It has an extra cost with X3, and it's available from 2024 R2, and it's hosted by Sage, and it connects with your own solution thanks to the APIs. Now, web scheduling for production planning. So this module has been with Sage for a number of releases already, and in 2024 R2, we've made some progress and some improvements in the module. I'm not going to go through the whole description of the module, but the improvement relate to the management of detailed material availability, and also the tooling availability in web scheduling, and also some connection with GraphQL. GraphQL is something that we'll talk about in a minute. It's a way to connect with Sage X3. It's a new type of API, and we are using it thoroughly now. We've talked about it with the shop floor, the last feature, and also with web scheduling. So all the connection with the X3 now have been redesigned and are using GraphQL APIs. If you want more details, we can give you more details about web scheduling, but this is one of the new feature with 24R2. Mobile automation also is something we wanted to talk about. Mobile automation is our mobility interface, user interface, mobility user module. So it's especially designed transactions for warehouse operations. So anything that has to do with stock movement, like receipts, like miscellaneous issues or receipts, stock control, putaways, picking, all these transactions, and I'll show you them in a demo in a minute. We have dedicated transactions that have been designed in a user interface that's especially adapted to mobility on a mobile phone or on a industrial device, and we can scan directly barcodes. That's very important as well, barcode scanning or QR code scanning features. So this is a module that has been around with Sage X3 since V12. Why are we showing them to you today? It's also because since 2024 R2, these transactions are now customizable. Before, in the latest release, you could not customize these transactions. You had to use the standard. You could not add a field or modify the screens. But now they have become customizable. So it's very important that you know that, because even if the standard doesn't totally comply with your requirements, just bear in mind that we can customize them. You can see here some of the features that are coming up, and you can see in 24R2, extend standard pages, add fields and processes. So this is what we can do thanks to what I'm going to talk about after the Sage X3 Builder platform. You can see on the horizon and the vision that we have for this module. We will always add new features, and in terms of technology too, we'll add more compliance with AI, RFID, and other technologies. So this is a great feature with Sage X3. Any transaction with stock can be handled with mobile automation. Now, we wanted to talk about Sage X3 Builder, which is one new feature also that comes with Sage X3 and the latest release of Sage X3 2024 R2. So what is Sage X3 Builder? It's a platform. It's a new platform. I'm sure you know all the features regarding customization with Sage X3. It's always been a development platform. We've always been able to customize Sage X3 thanks to the integrated development environment that comes with X3. But now we've added new technology. It's very important to understand what Sage X3 Builder is. It's two things. It's a development platform that allows you to develop new web pages in a new technology. We're going to talk about, you see on the right, TypeScript. That's a new language that we can use with X3. React, it's the technology to display the screen. And the mobile automation and the shop floor control module that we saw just before, they have been developed with this technology. So, but now what you can do, partners or even clients can use this technology to customize their screens, add new screens directly in X3 or in mobile automation. And you can also customize all the transaction in mobile automation. Thanks to this new language, so it's an open source language that really opens X3 to the new technologies on the market, and we hope that many developers or many partners will embrace this technology and provide new features around X3. Sage X3 Builder is also an integration platform. We're going to talk APIs. Every time you want to connect a new another application, another web page, e-commerce site with X3, you can now use GraphQL APIs. So it provides better integration. We always had APIs and web services with X3, but now we've added a new type of API that has lots of advantages, and it's called GraphQL. So shop floor control that we talked about before uses APIs, web scheduling uses APIs, and Sage Copilot that will show you at the end of the presentation also uses GraphQL APIs to connect with X3, but also in your day-to-day project with X3, if you want to interface a new application with X3, you can also use GraphQL APIs. They are web APIs, self-service, that can be used directly on the shelf. This is just a quick example of what can be done with Sage X3 Builder. You can see a new user interface, either in mobility, in mobile automation, or also in desktop mode. It can be developed that way. It provides us with new features in terms of user interface. But what I'd suggest, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to show you a live demo of mobile automation and Sage X3 Builder directly from my phone. So I hope it's going to work. Let's see. Yes. Let me just, yes, let's do that. I'm going to try that. I thought it was interesting. What you can see here on the screen, I hope you can see my screen. It's my phone. So you can see I have an app on the right here, Sage X3 Mobile Automation. So I wanted to demonstrate that to you. I'm actually operating my phone, so I'm going to have to connect. And why I'm showing you that screen is because you see on the right, it says at the bottom, it says use your Sage account to log in. This is one new feature with the latest release of 2024 R2. You can now connect to X3, whether it's in mobile automation like I'm showing you now, or in desktop. You can now use your Sage ID as a client. You should have an account at Sage, and you should have a Sage ID. So you can use your Sage ID to connect to X3 and to your account. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting my Sage ID, my Sage email address. I'm authenticating with the password, and I'm connecting to mobile automation. I'm connected to X3 actually. What you can see here is the dedicated function provided by mobile automation all around stock. You can see if I click on receipt, I can see a list of transactions, purchase receipt, putaways. If I click on stock control, I have a list of either inquiries or direct transaction. If I want to do stock change, I can just click here. You can see a list of transactions here directly on the screen which are available, and they can be customized also with X3 Builder. Let's try to do one. Let's just do a purchase receipt. It's fun to try to do that. Oh, I have to. I just have to define a site, default site, FR here directly, and I set the site. And now do receipt, purchase receipt. And I wanted to show you the scanning possibility also. So these transactions have been very simplified to make it easy in the warehouse to record, for instance, a receipt. So if I click on purchase order here in the field, you can see at the top I have a little scanning icon. If I click on the scanning icon, this is my camera. This is live from Lyon, France, and I've actually scanned. It's picked up by barcode directly, and it's populating the purchase order number. I can also do the same with the product. I have another barcode which I've prepared. So I'm just going to click on the scan button. Here we go. I didn't pick up that one. Maybe I chose the wrong scan. Okay, I'm selecting it by hand. So because it's mobile, you can use the camera to scan directly either a product or a order number or anything you want. I can just enter the quantity that I want to receive. Next. And I create my receipt. So these are, and I've got my document that is created. I can just click OK, come out of the function, and I've done my job. So you've got a list of functions here available, manufacturing or anything. The next thing I want to show you, you see at the bottom you can see demo X3 Builder. So I'm going to show you a transaction that we've developed with the new technology. So what I'm going to show you is not something standard. It's what the technology brings, what the platform allows me to do. If I want to have, for instance, a sales quote screen, especially designed for mobility, I can do that with the platform. So if I click on sales quote, it's not standard, it's something I've developed, but I've managed to develop a screen especially designed for mobility that allows me, for instance, to search for quotes, whether they're completely ordered, whether they're not ordered. You see they are displaying with the different color code, partially ordered here in orange, all quotes here. I can access any quote directly in my screen. You see, this is specially designed for mobility. I've got the information here directly on the screen, some main information, the status, number of lines, etc., etc. I can also modify any line. You can see I can just click on that line. I can see information. If I click cancel, I can also add a new line. When I add a new line, I also have the scanning facility. I'm just going to look for my little barcode, which I've prepared. So I can look for a product, but I can also scan. If I scan this barcode, so it's picking up the barcode, it's bike pump. Yes, I confirm. I can just add a quantity, a price. You could pick up the quantity and the price directly from the product record, and I can just save my sales quote. So you can see here the user interface that is possible to develop with Sage X3 Builder. I think I can save here, and it's going to update my quote directly in the product. I've got my record updated at the top. So I just wanted to show you that user interface and mobile automation. Feel free to ask more questions about this module, whether it can meet some of your requirements, but just know that you have this module available with X3. You need a dedicated user type in X3 to be able to use it. We have ADC type users in X3. They are required if you want to go into that user interface. Let's go back to the slides. Here we go. Demo, we've just done that. GraphQL API. So all this is based on this type of API, GraphQL. They are available with X3. We have got more than 300 available today. We always deliver more at every release, so continuous delivery of GraphQL APIs. We've got documentation. We have a site called developer.sage.com. Feel free to navigate and look for this site, and you will have information on GraphQL, but also on Sage X3 Builder, that new development platform that has allowed me, for instance, to develop that sales quote screen that you've just seen. Sage Enterprise Intelligence. This is the BI solution that we also wanted to talk to you about. This is a global BI solution that we implement, especially with Sage X3 at Sage. We have a number of clients with SCI, over 3,000 globally. Most of them are using X3. And what's key with SCI, that BI solution, so you may know of any other BI solutions on the market, but what's important with SCI is the acronym I'm using for Sage Enterprise Intelligence. It's the plug and play feature. Because we are editing this solution, we are editing it with a partner that's called Nyheter Software. They are based in Canada, for your information. But we've been working with them for more than 10 to 15 years. So then, we're working very closely with them. We're editing the solution with them, and the plug and play means that we are delivering the solution with a library of templates, reports that really accelerate the deployment. If you want to implement any BI solution, it takes a lot of work because you need to create data models, cubes, all the technical stuff that is required for the BI solution to work. With SCI, we've done all that for you. So when you install the solution, it works out of the box. Of course, you can personalize, you can adapt it, but when you install it, you can report directly on your data hosted in Sage X3. So that's very important. You have a list of templates, you have a list of reports, dashboards ready to be used. Multi-sources connection too with SCI. It's a proper BI solution, we have an integrated ETL module that's called Data Sync. And with that, you have out of the box several connectors that are available. If you want to bring more data, not only X3, but data from other databases, other applications, other websites, we have the connectors that is available for you to be able to retrieve that data. And cloud hosting or on-premise too, we have a number of hosting possibilities with SCI. I've just added a few screenshots of what can be done to dashboard out of the box again. These dashboards here for cash management, where you can see a number of KPIs available with the solution that can be filtered through some filtering panels at the top. All these can be adapted. They can be created by an end user. It's a drag and drop solution, very adapted to end users. It doesn't require much training. Another example here for customer analysis, but we have a library, as I said, of tens of dashboards readily available. But you can create new views directly from the solution. The idea here is not for you is not to do a demo of SCI, but just to give you a hint, a little teaser of the solution. And if you want more information, we'd be happy to organize a demo for you on that BI solution. And the last topic I wanted to talk to you about before I hand over to Zofia is called Sage Copilot. So we've talked a lot about AI at Sage in the preceding month and last year especially, because AI is a big focus for us at Sage. At the beginning of the presentation, I talked about Sage Network, our platform, our new hub for all our BI solution. And Sage Network is key. With AI at Sage because the artificial intelligence platform will be hosted on Sage Network, is actually hosted on Sage Network because some of our products are already live on Sage AI. Just for information, AI is not new at Sage. We have more than 80 people working full time on AI at Sage. So we have a great team dedicated to AI, and we have made a partnership with Amazon AWS to create a dedicated LLM, a large language model that will be dedicated to accounting. So we are building our own large language model dedicated to accounting, and that will be pushed to all our products at Sage, and so that you will be able to benefit from that, from the power of AI that we are building at Sage. So it's really dedicated AI that Sage is building with the partnership with AWS, and all this is hosted on the network. Regarding X3, Sage Copilot is the name of our assistant. Well, and Sage Copilot, as I said, will be pushed to all our products, and it will come come with X3 at the end of the year. I'll come back to the timeline in a minute. And Sage Copilot will be able to do many things. It will be able to provide you with a prompt assistant, so you'll be able to ask questions. Like, as you can see here on the screen, I've got a small demo after that, but you'll have a little component that will be accessible in the application that will allow you to ask any questions directly with your own language, whether it's English, French. I don't know if we we planned directly Swedish, but that could be maybe I'll ask a question. But at least English, French, or the main language, German, Spanish, etc. We'll be able to use Copilot. So you'll be able to ask questions. You'll also be able to use Sage Copilot for detecting errors. For instance, when you enter an order, a transaction, you'll be able to alert you with any errors that you may do, or propose actions, or even give you insights. What I can suggest is that we do a small demo. So it's a recorded demo, but let's have a look. So all those features will not be available straight away, but the first thing that we wanted to show you is the prompting facility. If I pause here, you see Sage Copilot will come to X3 directly in your user interface. We have a little icon at the top here, the little I don't know how to say that in English, but this icon will, if you click on that, Copilot will appear and you'll be able to ask questions. What's the number of orders awaiting for payments? It's directly answering you. What's the number of orders to be delivered next week for any given clients, for instance? All these type of questions, it's much easier to ask a question than run a query in the product. So if I move a little bit, if I advance, you see here are the questions that are available in the product through that prompt. It can give you more comprehensive answers, like you see on the screen how many open orders, and here it's giving me also more insights about the types of orders that are waiting in the product. So this is the first feature, prompt. This will come to X3 at the end of the year. This will be live in all X3 products, Sage X3 implementation at the end of the year. The next feature I want to show you here is the detection of errors or prediction. If I enter something like an order like this one here, if I enter a quantity for a given product, it can identify that, yeah, well, usually you order it in another quantity, so maybe it's better to use the quantity that you used before. So it's providing me with not an error, but a prediction or a recommendation for how to best order that given product, and it's giving me advice also thanks to AI. So that's very important also. You'll be able to have this kind of information directly in the function when you enter an information. But you can also here have that button 3 insights. Insights mean that it's giving you, it's analyzing, for instance, the invoice that you are on. And here for that given invoice, you can see here, well, this invoice is not paid yet. It was due 13 days ago. So I have direct access to the information I need. I can see the credit limit of that customer, and I can see the list of recent invoices, whether they're overdue or not. So all this information that would take maybe a few queries or reports to run before, I can have that information directly in the product thanks to artificial intelligence. So all this, we're working on that. We're working on these features and not going to be available in the first instance of Sage Copilot, but they will come. What's coming first is the prompt facility. You'll be able to ask questions directly in the product. So as I said, that will come at the end of this year. I think I have, yes, this is the end of that video, and I have just some information about few screenshots, but I think I've shown you something in the demo. But here, the timeline, the roadmap for Sage Copilot. As you can see, we are on the testing phase at the moment. We will soon start an early adopter program with some partners and customers that will test thoroughly the features, and the general availability is planned for Q4, so the last quarter of 2025. So you'll have information on this and the pricing associated to that also. So we'll have more information in the coming months regarding Sage Copilot. So I hope that was useful, this information. And now I think I will hand over to Zofia to talk about Ekio. Zofia, if you're here, and you'll just tell me when you want to, when you want me to move the slides.
No worries. Thank you so much, Nicola. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'm apart from all of this great stuff that Nicola has presented, we are also onboarding a new partner. So since December last year, we are working with Ekio. Ekio, in one sentence, is an extra financial governance service. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why we're making this commitment. So I will cover that part. Then we'll talk a little bit about the CSRD regulations that are coming for some and that come from others already. It's a European regulations, so I think you all heard about it. And then we'll talk a little bit about what Ekio actually is. So starting with the context, I wanted to briefly mention about why we're making this move, particularly because at Sage we really care about sustainability, and it's something that we really understand that touches upon all departments of an organization. It's really this movement of core values and how organizations work. And we really believe that with all of these regulations that are coming, it will change the way that organizations operate. But let's talk about the CSRD more in details, because that's imminent. So if we go to the next slide, the CSRD, it is a corporate sustainability reporting directive, and it represents a major step in the sustainability transformation of companies across Europe. Why does it matter? Starting from now, some companies will have to integrate environmental criteria into their strategy. For some, that means really starting to produce reports in January 2025, for others a little bit later, but the questions need to be asked today for all. It really involves meeting quite strict standards and producing extra detailed reports on the topic of sustainability, but on a very operational level. It does pose a few challenges, which are about this new directive. So the complexity of the data is quite broad. You have to input up to 1,200 information points. It requires quite a close collaboration between teams and adapted tools to centralize and process this data efficiently. So there are, maybe you've heard some conversations about simplifying the regulation that will come in the next weeks, but for now, this is what we're dealing with. So if we go to the next slide, we can really talk about what Ekio is. So Ekio is at the very heart of a response to these challenges. It's an intuitive and collaborative software solution that is designed to support companies in their sustainability transformation, but also they offer this notion of accompanying the companies, developing the methodologies that apply for your organizations directly. So how do they do that? So they simplify the reporting, meaning that they identify the issues for your company in particular, and they guide the company in reporting on those topics that are required for the sustainability, but also for their regulatory obligations. a very important notion for ECHIO and for the CSRD is the multi-department or multi-subsidiary collaboration, and they offer this collaborative platform, allowing subsidiaries, departments to align processes, contribute in a unified vision of the challenges for the entire group or organization, while respecting the local specificities. So all of that within their tool. And they help you also think about the vision. So map your impacts, your risk, and opportunities for creating a sustainability roadmap. So, but what is the connection with X3? So in X3, all of your information, obviously purchasing, inventory, logistics, is centralized and accessible to all employees and all departments that use it. And in that way, you have a consistent, reliable, and well-structured data that is making this classification and analysis that ECHIO brings in much easier. Their solution will directly leverage everything that X3 integrates already, but will also bring in information from other tools, other data that you have in your company. So they consolidate the data and they quickly transform it into a precise report tailored to the organization and the industry. So with the right tools, your data is ready to be leveraged because you're already using X3 to be able to comply with the regulations. It's a new topic for a lot of us. For some of you, you've already put in place processes, but whether you're at the beginning of the journey or whether you're advanced, please feel free to let Systems know if you want to talk to ECHIO. The experts are available, and even just for a preliminary chat, let us know, if you would like to know a little bit more. And that's about it from me.
Thank you, Zofia. So I think we've done a little bit. We've been a bit quicker than planned, but it doesn't matter. Maybe there are some questions.
Yeah, we got the question in the chat regarding Sage Copilot, Nicholas.
Right.
And the question is, are there any plans for availability in Say for Sage Copilot?
Oh, in the BI solution, you're saying. Okay. I didn't show, so that will be different, but in the BI solution, we will not be using Sage Copilot directly. However, the roadmap for SEI also has some features which are planned that are using artificial intelligence, different to Sage Copilot, because as I said, SCI is developed by a partner called Nectary Software, so it's just a solution that we've embraced and we are commercializing under the Sage name. But they also have a dedicated roadmap. I didn't show it directly on the slide, but we will see some features regarding AR, regarding predictability. So they also have included some roadmap features in the solution that will be coming in the future as soon as possible. If you want more information, I didn't have the slides with me on the deck, but I have some information about the roadmap with SEI.
Thank you.
Which I can provide to you.
Thanks.
I want to have maybe something I can show also directly here, but if you want to see detailed information on the new features with X3, it's also something that's new and maybe it's worth mentioning, but the online help with the product, it's a public site available directly from X3, but also if you type in Google Stage X3 online help, maybe some of you have noticed that the online help has been totally redesigned. You've got a new user interface with all the information readily available, with some how-to guides which are great on any topic, but also if you want to have information about new features on any release, you've got the release notes here readily available. You choose your language, you choose your release 24 R2, R1, R2. You can see previous versions at the bottom, but you see for the latest release, we've documented all the new features, so you have detailed information about what a new release brings to you, whether it's important to you or not. And you can, access the distribution features, manufacturing, finance, X3 Builder. Also, we have information on that. So yeah, the online help has been redesigned. You can go back. Sorry, what am I doing? It's not that. So yeah, I thought that was important for you to have that information too. Online help, Sage X3, and lots of information, new user interface. So don't hesitate also to search for information and to navigate through that. There's lots of information.